going on, y'all? It's your boy Pat G. I'm here with Tash and Van Styles, and this is Big Dookie Chain Podcast. Straight like that. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Hit that freaking bell and get in where you fit in, alright? Well, shout out to Infused Productions. Make sure y'all check them dudes out, man. They got that fire. Did I mention they got that fire? Yo, go check them out.
So, here we are.
Big Dookie.
Episode 7, Big
That's
Dookie Chain.
Lucky number 7.
Lucky number 7. Big Dookie Chain. I'm Tash. This is Van Styles. We're here with the homie Pat G, Pat Gouch.
Yes, yo.
In the building.
What's going on?
And before we get started, Pat, we gotta lace you up with the Dookie chain.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to take the headphones for 1 sec. Just get that around your neck, just to be ready for the people out there on Facebook Live, for the people out there on YouTube. We want to make sure they know.
It's the chain, man.
That's a $30,000 chain right there.
Dude, some greats have won that chain. Chris Ferrone's won that chain. Leeds Edutainment's won that chain.
Hey,
there you go. You know?
Shout out Leeds. That's my guy.
He'll be here in 2 weeks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You trying to get shows off him or something? I'm gonna put a good word in for you. Leeds, get this man a job, okay? So, Van, have you met Pat before?
I'm not sure if I have.
Yeah, me neither. That's what I'm saying. I know we were friends on the book. I might have been like 10 years ago when everything was going on, when music was popping.
Okay, yeah, it was like
that time.
Right now we're 2024, so I'd say maybe like 2012, 10, 11, 12.
Exactly.
I remember adding the UGG logo to your music videos, which I jacked off YouTube and then re-uploading them on our website as we did. So that I do know 100% that there were at least that I know Pat G, and I was like, he's got skill. So we wanted to showcase you, so we did get the music videos up there. But
you could have just had him in, you know.
Into undergroundhiphop.com?
Yeah.
Had you ever been to the store? Damn. See, now
it's a blur, man. It was a blur. There's a lot going on that time. I want to say but
okay. Well, that's the problem right there.
Yeah.
He clearly hadn't. This is why there is no more undergroundhiphop.com, because there wasn't enough support from certain people.
Yeah.
I'm looking at one individual right now.
Yeah, that was me. I took it down, guys.
Damn.
Pat, you single-handedly lost this man his job.
Yo, straight up.
You're trying to have Leeds get you a job, well, you took Van's job away. One of Van's good friends is Leeds. You're not going in the right direction.
I was about to say.
But that led to the Big Dookie chain, though.
It did.
So it's fine.
See, look at that.
Yeah.
Now here we are.
So then,
you want to hear an interesting story?
Sure.
How do you think me and Pat met?
It was 1999. You guys were in a jacuzzi.
And
the steam was up, and then when it cleared a bit, you caught each other's eyes from across the pool.
No, that's Hot Tub Time Machine, dude.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
You're thinking of an actual movie.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like, how did you and Pat G meet?
Guess. Like, take a real guess.
I mean, I would guess at like a show.
That's what you would think, right?
I mean, we're here. We're all here. Music is what's brought us together.
No, Hush, is your mic on too?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah. What do you think me and Pat met?
Mardi Fest would be my guess.
No. Pat came to Mardi Gras.
Yes.
Because of where me and Pat met, and me and Pat became friends closely fast because of where we met. So when I was having my twins on one floor of fucking
in the hospital.
What hospital was that?
That was
Brigham and Women's. When I was having my twins on one floor of the hospital, I was outside smoking a cigarette. I smoked cigarettes at that time, and I'm sitting there, I'm smoking a butt, and this guy walks up to me and he goes like, "Yo, are you stressed?" And I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Aren't you Pat G?" And he's like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "What are you doing here?" And he's like, "Oh, I'm having a baby." And I'm like, "Oh shit,
I'm having
a baby too."
Yeah.
And then we went and we smoked weed, like, which is where Now Star Market is.
Yep.
It wasn't there at the time, and that's there now because they built that whole like nice. This is back when like it wasn't nice over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really nice over there.
That's the honest to goodness truth.
Yeah, and I met him, and that was 15 years ago now.
Yeah, something like that.
13, almost 13 years ago. Almost 14 years ago.
Yeah,
14 years ago.
I was having my daughter. Yeah,
you two were pregnant at the same time.
We were having each other's babies.
That's insane.
Yeah.
It was wild.
No, that is a pretty impressive story.
It's a crazy. It was like one of those weird, crazy things.
It was like we literally after we started smoking, we took a whole walk around the whole hospital. Like it was bugged the fuck out for both of us. Like life was lifing, and we just kind of just like, all right, let's take a walk. I was like, all right. It's like, yeah, man, you ever been around this area? I was like, no, you know what I'm saying? I'm from Connecticut. We had this whole, it was dope, though. It was dope.
It was the day of, too.
Yeah.
It was like I had just had mine and he had just had his. We were coming outside to like do we just had kids thing and like.
Dead ass.
Yeah.
And that was why I went outside to do the, damn, wow. God,
that was when we met.
The universe.
And it was
brought you two together.
I could tell you a funny story about that time too, because like, so obviously you couldn't smoke weed in the hospital. They don't let you do that, unfortunately. Whack. But fucking,
that is really bizarre.
It's bullshit. So I had to leave the hospital to smoke weed. Oh, I've smoked weed in the hospital.
Yeah. I know.
You were there when I smoked weed in the hospital.
I was there when you smoked weed in the hospital.
But then I couldn't because there was babies involved. So I had to go outside and I got to meet Pat G. But what I would do was I would try to find cool places to smoke around there. So behind Brigham and Women's, I would like go down this path and it would bring me like this cool ass spot. It was like remember that bar? You know that place? This beautiful fucking courtyard and shit with like these columns and shit and everything. Right? So I'm sitting there. So this is before I met him though. I'm sitting there and I don't know where I am. I just know I'm in a nice place. I'm like, this place reminds me of like something you see in Greece or something. This is like pretty cool. So I'm looking at it and all of a sudden people are just walking up and they're like, I'm sitting on stairs and they're walking up and just taking pictures of me. Like I'm smoking a joint like on the stairs. There's like nice cameras like these ones.
Yeah.
And they're like taking pictures and like they're not from America. You know what I mean? And then like someone else would come and someone else would, like with like 5 in a minute like type shit. I go, where the fuck am I sitting? I'm sitting in front of like MIT, that the big MIT building, like that fucking building with the columns and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was sitting in the middle of that, like dead center, like just smoking weed, thinking I was like in some cut. So then I bring him in. The cool part of that though, right? The cool shit about that was, remember when we went there? I'm like, you want to see something cool? I'm like, everyone that we talked to in that 5 minutes was from somewhere else in the world.
Yeah.
Do you remember that? It was like Brazil, Germany, fucking Holland.
I remember that vaguely, but I do remember pieces of that.
And I kept asking, like, where you from? And they were like, Germany. I'm like, where you from? They're like, Japan. Like, where you from? It's like, it was just cool.
It was the most interesting
because it was like
ever.
one of those things. Like it's pretty cool that everyone comes from all over the world to take pictures of right here.
Yes, I do remember that. I do remember that.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
What I don't get is Brigham and Women's is nowhere near MIT.
Yes, it is. Like that MIT building. Yes, it is. Like when you.
Oh, he's referring to the building, not like
not the campus, not the campus.
Oh, okay.
The original. All
right, then I don't know exactly what you're talking about, but
it's like a nice little courtyard area. It's really.
If you pull up pictures of MIT, like the famous like big fat column, the pillars with the statue in the middle and shit.
It was the girthy column.
The girthy column. You wanted to say that, didn't you?
Yeah,
you wanted to sound like, did you?
All right. Well, I don't want to, be too boring to the people out there watching, but yeah.
I mean, then don't stop
it's
talking.
Still not coming. It's that's so mean.
So Pat, you're someone that does rap music, is it? Yes. Is that what you do? Rap music there?
Makes a bunch of noise.
So what's your origin story? Where you from?
I'm originally from Connecticut, Hartford to be exact.
Avon right here, so the hood. You know how we do.
Shout outs to Avon. Yeah, we used to whoop y'all ass in a couple of sports.
Oh shit, son.
That's all good.
Cross track rivalry right here.
I was probably football or some shit. But I was born.
This guy wasn't playing football. Come on, be serious.
Then I definitely didn't come across him.
Could you imagine?
Pause.
I didn't play football that long either, but not too much. Yeah, Connecticut, everything. After high school, I left Connecticut. That's when I kind of journeyed out.
So hip hop, like, so you're a guy from Connecticut. You're journeying out. Like, what's your first introduction to hip hop music?
Ooh, if we're taking it back.
Origin story of Pat G, man.
Shit. My moms used to play this dude Rob Bass and Chub Rock, but right before them,
Chub Rock, there you go.
I got my first tape, my first Walkman. I got a Walkman, and she gave me the Walkman. And in the Walkman, I can't remember the name of the tape. I know who it was. It was Beastie Boys. I just know that Brass Monkey was up there.
License to Ill.
There it was. That album was
sitting next to an honorary Beastie Boy right there.
And that was my first, like, I don't know what this is, but this is amazing.
I'm similar to you.
So, Van, think how cool that is, though, right? Like, so a weird thing with cannabis is a lot of people steal their first cannabis from their parents. Like, that's the first time they smoke like that. But this motherfucker's mother gave him the stash, like in the Walkman. When she was like, "Yeah, just like take that shit." Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it did not go down like that for me.
Oh no.
But my introduction was probably at my sister's dance recital to MC Hammer, Too Legit to Quit.
Wow. Oh, dang. So I was a little further up.
A little. How old are you?
Oh, old enough.
Damn, me too. Me too, bro. Good. So I don't have to say mine either. But my second introduction to hip hop was on a rope swing out in the back of my buddy's house, and his older sister was upstairs with the window open, and that's where I heard License to Ill. Oh. So same as you, same album, and I was like, I was hooked. What is this?
Can we just take a little sidestep on the Beastie Boys? Like, I don't know if I never got it. Like, you're a Beasties fan?
No.
You're a Beasties fan. Like, I never got it. Like, I never like this.
Well,
people
you're not
that
gonna get it now.
People that fucking love the Beastie Boys.
Oh, trust.
And it's not like an only white boy thing.
No.
Because there's like hood, like that's all walks of life that are fucking like, you know, like Beasties?
I have never met the hood dude that loves.
Oh, I
Beastie Boys.
have. I've met you. They're like older school dudes.
Okay.
But yeah, they're like, if you're from that era, they fuck with Rick Rubin, and they fuck with Beastie Boys.
Yeah, I mean, License to Ill.
I just
was
never
completely groundbreaking. Nothing else ever sounded like that.
I mean, well, the Beastie Boys, I mean, when did they come out? Like 88, 89, something like that. So they were probably like, what, 16, 17?
Yeah.
I was 10. So, I mean, it's like not like that, you know what I'm saying? Like, you were close to that, you know, like, so we were kids. They were kids.
But at the time, it was badass.
It was the crazy. I remember one time I asked my father, I was like, yo, ask me what time it is. He goes, what's the time? I go, it's time to get ill. Like that. Motherfucker almost beat my ass. Because like saying that shit wasn't like a thing yet.
Your mom threw away your best porno mags.
Did you know that's like how every punk song that goes mainstream is like a Weird Al version of like a pop song, like, you know what I'm saying? Like a lot of punk bands will do one song that's like a pop, that's like their version of like a fuck pop song that goes like blows like Teen Spirit type shit. Like that was the Beastie Boys one.
Okay.
They did that wasn't a serious song. That was like they were talking about those people are fucking assholes. Those dudes who
so there's like a parody.
Like, yeah, there we go, parody. Yes, I said Weird Al thing.
Okay, yeah, I mean, like, I don't know. Beastie Boys, I remember from me, License to Ill, after that came Check Your Head. Or what was the name of that album?
I'll tell you, I wouldn't know because I'm not, Paul's Boutique was probably the next one. But, so Chuck D, when I went to MCA Day, gave like a fucking 30-minute speech on MCA. Like about just all the
he was a philanthropist too.
But like talking about like his like going to his mother's house and having food with them, like, you know, these motherfuckers like were the Beasties were part of that shit. Like,
Run DMC, Public
like,
Enemy, they were all touring together.
Yeah,
I mean, they were the biggest artists at the time.
Exactly.
Sure.
Like, so
even though Beastie Boys originally opened up for Madonna and they got booed and stuff thrown at them on stage.
I think it was because I was always a lyrical guy. And like the Beastie Boys never like.
So what were you listening to in 1988, Chris?
The first thing I ever bought was KRS-One, The Blueprint.
Okay.
That was the first album I ever bought.
And
then from there, like I went to Public Enemy, Fear of a Black Planet.
I could do that. I wasn't allowed to buy albums with parental advisory stickers.
Oh no, the Apocalypse Now, that one, PE Apocalypse Now, that one
didn't have one.
Yeah, that had it on it. The one with the skull in the front of it, that had it on it.
Or it just had the sticker that I could rip off. So Yo Bum Rush the Show, but my introduction was like Apocalypse. Yeah,
I listened to a lot of. I actually listened to Kid and Play back then, which was like pretty poppy.
Yeah.
But like,
I was fucking with that. House Party was huge.
Yeah, it was huge.
Yeah.
I listened to I was into NWA, like Eazy-E's fucking Eazy-E shit. Like I remember still like that. There once was a dog.
There was just so much. There was so much music
shit,
in my house. So like, I mean, hip hop was big, but like I listened to a lot of shit in my house. I'm talking like anywhere from like fucking Bon Jovi and shit to motherfucking the Rob Basses, the Too Shorts, the fucking.
So we heard your first cassette was Beastie Boys.
Yeah.
What was your first CD?
Oh shit! Oh god. Damn.
Well, Pat, like Pat's music too. It like you can tell when you listen to Pat's music that he grew up in a house that had a lot of like eclectically. You know what I'm saying? Like whoever was showing him music.
I want this first CD though.
That's a good one. I'm really thinking too. Oh man, first CD.
Because I think mine was Check Your Head.
I have to tell you mine. Because you're going to love mine.
A pair of pants to get that CD.
CD.
I was one of those guys who like wouldn't change over to CDs because I had so many tapes and like I'm like, it's never going to last. It's never going to last.
I was right there with you. But when it would have been a tape,
I broke down. I broke down. The first one I ever got. You're going to like this. Rapping Forte. Players Club.
Wow. Wow.
More champagne, Mr. Forte?
Wow.
Oh, that's amazing. I honestly never had a Rappin' Forte album.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah.
Rappin' Forte was so big that Pac
He's from
had
the
him.
Bay, right?
Yeah, Pac had him on fucking.
I remember a few joints. I never invested in them, but I definitely knew them.
I remember on All Eyes for Me, Pac shouting out Rappin' Forte. I don't remember what song.
And one of my first CDs also was Dayton Family.
Oh shit!
I told you that before. Yeah. I was like one of those
dudes.
dudes.
A lot of people know about.
Yeah, because I spent high school in Michigan, so I know Dayton Family because they're from Flint, I believe.
Yeah. I just remember it was. I saw a song they had on YoMTV Raps, and I was like going through a thing. I was like, that's my shit, and I went and bought the CD, and it was like just straight fucking goonery,
it's
death, murder, mayhem.
They're one of these weird things. You probably haven't wondered to yourself, like, where's Dayton Family today?
Well, that's
And same with X Clan. Where's X Clan
I never
today?
had an X Clan.
Both of them ended up on Psychopathic Records. Suburban Noise Records for X Clan, and Dayton Family, I think, ended up on Psychopathic Records, Insane Clown Posse's label. So it's just bizarre.
That's an interesting.
And Suburban Noise was Cottonmouth King's label. So it's just weird that these like white boy labels ended up picking up first X Clan, the black is the black, and then Dayton Family, super hood shit.
Yeah,
but they were kind of like horror-ish hood shit. So I guess it kind of fits, but it's just bizarre.
That actually is. That's pretty bizarre.
Fucking, that was back when I think the reason we got all that shit too, because first YoMTV Raps was God. You stay up at 10 o'clock at night on a Saturday
and watch that and Rap City.
This is before Rap City. This is Fab Five Freddy fucking YoMTV Raps, that shit. I was Saturday nights at 10 o'clock was Fab Five Freddy, and you'd have to sneak to stay up late, and cable TV was new and shit like that, and that shit. But Ed Lover, Dr. Dre in the afternoon, that shit came way the fuck later, Fab Five Freddy. So whenever the fuck was on that, that was you were getting because now you can go online and see whatever the fuck you want, right?
Yeah.
But then it was just a faucet was there wasn't even a lot of it either.
No.
You know what I mean? There was only a bowl of the shit.
Yeah.
And they gave you one little drop at a time, you know?
Yeah, but when it came, you was there for it. You was there for it.
Yeah,
100%. And Fab Five Freddy, I was just thinking, Rock the Bells, I don't remember which year it was, but undergroundhiphop.com, we used to sell a t-shirt that was Freddy Krueger morphed with Fab Five Freddy.
That's amazing.
Going up like Freddy Krueger claws. And I wore that, and Supernatural was the one hosting at Rock the Bells. And I just saw, there's this Instagram, 90s hip hop, and they put out some reissues, or they'll put out, I guess, albums that were shelved. I don't know how they get rights to this. But Supernatural's album that was shelved back in 1990 something, they just put out yesterday on vinyl.
Wow. Now Supernatural, obviously amazing fucking talent, something that nobody else can do,
because he was the first one to do that blindfold, and he'd touch objects and then freestyle about them.
He's on another level with his freestyles and shit. But does that translate? You think it's going to translate? Because it almost never does.
No, I mean now I'm sure they only pressed up 300 copies. The album was called Natural Disasters, and it was supposed to come out in 95. So it just came out on vinyl, 21 tracks. So I don't think it's going to be big. It's just, like I said, it's a niche audience. It's going to reach of a few hundred people, but it's a kind of a cool thing. I just can't imagine making 21 tracks back in 97 in the golden age of hip-hop. I mean, a little bit past the golden age, and that whole album, all your creative work being shelved, even with Cormega's The Testament, can you imagine doing all that work, working with all these producers, and at the time you had to pay all this money to even be in the recording studio, and then it doesn't come out? It's just so crazy.
Yeah, that took a long time for that one to come out, right?
The Testament only came out, Cormega ended up releasing it, and again, I don't know if he ever got the rights to release it or what, but he released it maybe 10 years ago, but then he actually has right now, he just released The Testament again with a brand new cover, pretty ill looking cover. I'd say anyone wants to look that one up. But yeah, it's just like that album was a classic album, and he could have been up there with the Nas's, Capone and Noriega's.
You think
of the
so?
time. Cormega, yeah. If he came out with hell yeah, Montana's Diary.
Another
that
guy
track.
I never saw. Like he was always, to me, Cormega, and I like
one of the dudes who wanted him replaced in the Firm that got Nature put on instead of him.
No, I mean,
and what happened to Nature? You're a Nature guy. There's Cormega guys, and then there's Nature guys. You're a Nature guy.
Teeth, man, is what this is the problem is.
Nature's teeth.
Jesus Christ.
I don't know what the fuck Nature looks like. You really are a Nature fan.
Nah, because he was on fucking he was on Drink Champs or one of that shit, Math Hoffa, one of them fucking things. It was hard. It was like
Math Hoffa.
And that was the first time I seen him, and I was like, holy shit, wow, like that's crazy. Like, don't you got money to fix that shit? Like, it's wild.
Well, see, that is what facts with that. I mean, when Bruiser Brigade, Danny Brown, his teeth used to be mad fucked up, and that dude,
a lot of people,
the first thing he did when he got like famous was get new teeth, and I'm like, props to you. Actually, but if you ever get a chance, if you're watching right now, look up new pictures of Little Fame from MOP. The fucking fake teeth this dude got.
Stop.
Yo, it's unwatchable. What is he doing?
Because we could probably get Fame on the show, so you gotta
No. I mean, I love Fame, but goddamn, I want to be able to focus on your rhymes, not the teeth, man. That shit was like out of this world.
There's a lot of dudes like that. It was someone else I saw the other day was like on a talk show. It's a guy that we all know, but they can't talk either. Like it's like
right. And that was for how Fame was
Charles Barkley. Have you seen Charles Barkley?
Lately,
bro. Charles Barkley
really know better.
He got some big old fucking teeth in his mouth now that like he just like you.
I want to get the extra large.
We all know what Charles Barkley sounds like because he's been talking for like fucking 30 years now, and he does not sound like that. He sounds, it's like that. It's, you know what I mean? Like they got because they put the teeth over the teeth.
Yeah. See, that's too much.
It's like why?
You gotta pull them out and put new ones in.
Some new joints in there.
If you're gonna do that shit, you can't be putting the other ones over the veneer joints over the other joints. That shit don't work, bro. It's like some big old fucking teeth.
Yeah. Now you got a mouthpiece.
100%. And this got me thinking of something. And I know, like, I don't want every single one of these big Dookie Chain podcasts to end up having like super gay shit in it. Nothing against like.
Who's the person who says the super gay shit every single fucking time?
I don't want it. But this fake teeth conversation has me thinking of recent Instagram posts from Gilly and Wallow on $1 Million Worth of Game. These motherfuckers, they go and visit a doctor's office in Philadelphia where you can get your penis more girthy.
Hey,
no, they didn't.
Yeah, no, I'm dead serious. I brought it up right here. Come on, bro. That is from 1 day ago. Gilly the Kid wanted to visit Dr. Gittins to get some help.
And they posted that?
They posted
to
it,
get some girth on his dick. So
it got 1,082 comments.
I don't. I imagine. I don't watch.
Just a little thick. They said they can't do anything about your length, Chris, but they can add a little bit of thickness. It's like Botox, but for the dick.
Is that something that do they normally do? Like.
Do they normally do? Once again, this is like one of these things that I think you know the question to the answer.
No, I'm saying like, is that like a joke?
You've done the research. It's not a joke, man.
Like I don't fucking know, dude. It seems like it would be like, do they have like a sarcasm post?
They just add an extra layer.
Do they do skits?
I think they're just like, honestly, I think they probably got paid. Because they
but how much money do you need
for this Dr. Gittins? It's hilarious. They're sitting in the office basically trolling on this dude.
Pat, have you seen this?
And at the same time, probably getting ad dollars from this dude.
Pat, you sure you're not one of the people that commented on that video?
Yeah, no, good.
1 day ago, you guys can scroll back.
Are you one of the people that commented on that video?
I mean, I had to throw in my 2 cents. Like, if you can build it sideways, why can't just speaking up for you on behalf of the people that didn't see the post yet, like, why can't we add a little length at the end, right?
Hey, yo.
Like a hot dog down a hallway.
Hey, Hush, did you fucking see?
I did not see that.
Did you see this?
That's like the male BBL.
Yo, that is what it is. That is the male BBL.
DDL.
Yeah, wow.
Fuck it.
Thank you, Hush. Back to normal questions.
No.
See what?
Yo, so this dude, Pat G, right? He goes up to South Weymouth, does a fucking video over at the air base.
Oh, yeah.
Whole bunch of rapping, whole bunch of fucking filmography, whole bunch of other shit. He call you? Did he check in? Did he check in?
Nah, I should have had to send someone over there.
Yeah.
That's fucked up. So, Pat, tell us about the song. You got this video out, right?
Oh, yeah. So that was my single, Word to Mommy. Shout outs to my man, the villain. He shot that video. Yeah. So that air base, man. Shout out to y'all for having that air base. First of all,
What made you pick the air base?
Actually, it was because of a job I did out there. I did a job on that field. On one side of the field, a company came and built like literally what was like a housing unit, and we put electricity and lights in that bitch, and they threw a party and shit in there. So when we were there and after we set up, I was just like, what the fuck is all of this? I've never wow, this is amazing. And I was like, I'm gonna remember this place. And like 5 months later, I ended up back out there, but I wasn't even supposed to be out there in the first place. Like that wasn't even a plan.
Well, my question is, okay, so if you guys, so the South Naval Air Base is right there, South Naval Air Base,
literally down the street.
It used to be a full a big ass air base. When I was a kid, like we went to school with kids in the base.
That's
regardless,
fire.
But it's called Hollywood East. So. A lot of people, the Slain video with Sando, like all the dilapidated house with the spray paint all over them and shit.
Yeah,
that's all down there. Like they built Quincy, that fucking thing. That's what you were at.
Wow.
But you didn't use that part for your video.
No.
You used the big flat fucking area.
Wait.
Yeah.
They took that down though. They took that movie set down. But I know Ghostbusters. I think the female Ghostbusters was filmed over there.
There was a couple.
Really?
Yeah, a couple of them. Yeah.
I think scenes from the movie Patriots Day.
Yeah, they had like a big ass
Patriots Day was filmed over there. You're right.
Big
Yeah.
ass hangar over there or whatever.
Yep.
I was like, I think they got to shoot film or some shit over there. I was just saying it in my head, but I wasn't in that area. Yeah,
that's literally
just by the
Hollywood
Strip.
So that place is it's like 100 acres or something. It's huge. It's fucking.
I heard they
it's
did
huge.
drive-throughs or some shit like that.
Oh, yeah,
it's
drive-through
huge. Movies or some shit. I don't know.
No. Well, maybe they do. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not.
But
sure.
it's just.
I think I might have heard that.
Yeah, it's just a huge spot. Like, so they have it took down where those hangars are. Where you were walking. Those used to be buildings and shit there. That was like a runway with like buildings and shit. So when you were walking, that's just all like they tore down all the military bases.
Yeah.
So you're walking. Yeah.
That shit was dope though. That shit was dope. Like I was just like, this is not a lot of people know about this. I'm sure of it because if they did, they'd be here. And yeah, that's why I never really.
But you're able to film on an air base?
Oh no, trust me, it was. I'll say this.
It's not an air base anymore.
Okay.
No, but they
it's like a
still
town
have.
now.
They have certain areas over there that are like private and shit like that. And they'll tell you like, don't go over there or whatever. When we was first shooting up there, because my man used the drone and shit. These white trucks pulled up. And like I was a little shook because I'm smoking too, so I'm like, damn, I don't know, what's going on. Or
right,
Weymouth is weed friendly. We're good.
Right. So we chilled for a minute, and then my man, he was just like, fuck it, we're gonna do it until they say something. So we kind of just, and they sat for a minute, and then they kind of drove off. But once we seen the parameters on the fucking on the controller, kind of lets you know where you can fly and shit. That's when we kind of knew like, all right, we could just stay over here. So that's how we were able to shoot that shit.
Fucking Hush, are you gonna tell them about the best part over there that you didn't even know about?
Come on, man.
Wait, what's the best part?
You don't know about the tower over there?
Oh, yo, I seen that. I seen the
water tower.
No,
it's like the control.
The control tower.
Shit. Yeah.
You never been up over there?
I have not.
Yo,
I gotta bring you over there, bro.
There is though.
It's abandoned. Yo.
I know recently, like they have, like you said, the residential areas over there. They did just put in like a new pizza place. Like when I went to Maine, and there's this place, Autos.
Yeah, Autos is over there.
Fire. And
Yeah.
now I know there's one over there. So I'm trying to.
It's all right.
I didn't know that.
I've had it. It's all right. No, but so there's if you even Google, like if we had that thing up there, you could see that if you Googled like Weymouth Air Base abandoned or whatever the fuck, there's a control tower up there.
I feel like I've seen pictures from that tower, but I never knew.
Yeah, it's right there.
In the video,
right there.
during the second verse, when I'm walking and like certain people are walking by, that's right where the shit is at.
Yeah.
I was just like, as I was doing it, I kept looking over like, damn, I wonder what's
if you
over
walked,
there.
like if you kept going through that pavement goes for like a little bit more.
Yeah.
If you kept going down that pavement, eventually you reach a line of trees, and then it's right behind that. It's the corner of the base.
That's crazy though.
So when we were kids, there used to be a gym on that base, and there was like the whole town. Like I said, kids went to school there and shit like that. Like kids from our school that was over there would be like from Kentucky, Jersey, all over the place. What the fuck? But we'd go play basketball and shit on that base, and we'd jump the fence. But it was a military base at that time, so they'd fucking like come with the jeeps and shoot us with the fucking
Really?
Oh yeah, with the hacky sack guns there there and shit.
Really?
The beanbag bullets and shit. Yeah. It was, but it was fun.
God.
It was like a fun thing. Like you know what I mean? Like we were like, it was the corner of the neighborhood.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it was like, it was fun. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It was pretty dope.
Now that's dope.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, you do that shit now, and that was fucking like 1990 too. So it was like, you know what I mean? It's a different day and age.
Though, that whole shit is nice though. Even just to be like walking and shit like they do over there, like it's a really nice little spot. But yeah, I don't know, man. I might have to go and adventure over there and kind of check that out and see. But yeah, that was a nice spot, man. Nice place to be, man. Nice little gem. If anybody who hears this or sees this, check that spot out, man. It's yeah.
So what made you want to stop making music?
That honestly, I think it was just in me. It's just something like with music. When I hear something that feels good, I get like really excited. Like, and it was always, the excitement was a little overload or overkill rather. So for me, it got to a point where it was just like, I like this so much, I gotta do this. I gotta bang on this. I gotta tap on this. I gotta make noise. And it was like, until I was able to get what I needed. So it's always been like growing up, I used to always get in trouble for making so much noise and beatboxing and sound effects and anything I got my hands on, I had to make a little, little joint. So, when it came to music, it was just always something I had to do. I don't know.
So how'd you go about like that first time of like making that happen?
In regards to like
making music, like actually record, like how? Because
okay, let's get to that. That
part of the hip hop experience, Van. I mean, you being on the one side of the mic, Hush and Pat will know as well. Is like when you first start recording shit, you gotta like, especially back then in the rudimentary times, that you had to like fucking jimmy stuff together, and you know what I mean. And like it was one speaker machines to like headphones, and like you had to just figure it out. You know what I mean? So how did you?
We had the karaoke machine at first. My man had rigged up some way where he could have the instrumental playing while it was recording, and I never knew the ins and outs, but I always knew that he had it fired up, and it was always ready to go. Then my man moved to some shit called Cool Edit Pro. That shit was a big deal back in the day, and basically,
Hush is shaking his head. Do you know what that is?
Yeah,
that's where I started. Right there. Cool
shout out to that. It's like
Cool
Adobe
Pro
Audition
got bought by Adobe.
Yeah, now it's Adobe
they used to
Audition.
Call me, Obi-Wan Adobe.
Shout out to Cool Edit. Cool Edit like changed my life. Like that shit was. Shit, people are still using it. People are still using it.
It's Cool Edit like Fruity Loops. Like
no. If anybody who has Adobe Suite probably came across it, it's Adobe Audition, and it literally is the exact thing. They bought it out.
But I'm saying the same. It's
just recording. Yeah, simply just recording. Yeah, and my man had that program, so he knew now that we had that instead of what we were using. Now he could drag the beat in, and then we had sections to actually like put our verses and stuff down. So now it's getting real serious, from the karaoke machine to now we're using the computer screens, but the microphone we were using was like the Radio Shack fucking computer mic.
Like the plastic joint?
With a fucking sock over it. A little gym sock over it. And that was the wave. My man had that shit popping. Like that shit was clean.
Hold on, time out. You had the microphone with like the sock, like a condom on the microphone?
Yes, that's exactly how it
So
was.
you didn't even have a screen?
No
pop screen?
No pop,
just
that
pop.
that long stem computer mic.
I got the pop, but no screen.
Gym sock sitting right on it. Boop. Yep.
So Hush is like the whole time he's over here laughing. So you said you came in on the same shit. Like what did you like? What was your first rig like?
My first rig was like, I didn't do the karaoke stuff. Like I was always on computers when I was young, so I had a hand-me-down computer and Adobe. Well, Cool Edit was like the first. That's when that was the first thing I recorded in. Really.
How old were you at this time?
Probably like I started recording like 14, I'd say.
Well, for me that was like.
And what'd you use for a microphone? Did you put a gym sock over the Radio Shack mic?
I did have like one or two things with the Radio Shack joint, but I did like my dad and his friend. There was like a bunch of, like they must have been like cover bands or something. There was like a drum set and an old mic in my basement with like a mic stand. So I just
you lucked out.
Yeah, no, that was the next phase. We had the wire mic, but we could never master it, so we always left that one around. And I was like 16, 17, around that time when my shit was popping.
See, that's the same shit, like when his mother gave him the Walkman with the tape in it, like his fucking father's like in a cover band or some shit, so the kid wants to fucking rap, and there just happens to be a microphone and a fucking mic stand in the fucking basement. Like, what are the odds?
That part, yeah.
Well, see, you know what, though? That probably helps you get, like,
Serendipitous.
well, it helps you get good at what you do. because like that you have those tools just sitting there waiting for you. You know what I mean? Like you have the time on them.
I have a question. Not being someone who makes music, like the last time I made music was in middle school.
That's not
rapping
true.
from one boombox, or unless I rapped on this show before, but rapping from one boombox into another boombox, like with the beat from like the Roots or something playing. It wasn't the Roots, I know how they do, and me and my buddy T-Bone rapping and recording into the other boombox, which had a blank tape where we were recording over somebody else's tape or something like that.
Yeah.
So
that's how you did it.
But my question is, it's just like the first time I got high, we used an empty toilet paper roll, cut a hole in the top, put the tin foil in, and put our hand over the other end. But on some MacGyver shit. But my question is, what do people watching this who do make music, what should they be using today? What's like the number, like what's the base, like what do people use?
The standard, basically.
Yeah, the standard.
I'm gonna be honest, nothing. Whatever, by any means, whatever means you have, that's what you use.
But it was Pro Tools for a while.
Shit, Pro Tools was a privilege.
Yeah.
I met Pro Tools in the last fucking 10 years probably.
Okay.
Because everything else was like trying to get there. It was that was the standard. Pro Tools, you had to have Pro Tools. I was like, shit, I can't afford it. And anybody who has it in their studio at the time, it was $50 an hour. $50 an hour was astronomical. So it was like, god damn, I can't afford that. So it was just like, that's why we had the cool edits and the auditions, and some people use Acid and there was a bunch of other SoundForge, and there was so many other crazy little programs.
This guy's fucking shaking his head like crazy.
He gets it. Like, he definitely gets it. That's when the grind was crazy, because it was like, yo, we wanted that sound, and all these other companies had certain means for us to go get it. So it was like, yo, this is still quality right here. I can still pitch this off for a mixtape and shit like that. So that's what everybody settled for until getting crack versions of shit came out, and then it was like, oh, now I got Pro Tools. Oh shit, so and so got Pro Tools. Now it was like a must have. But by then you kind of was like, I'm winning right now with this. So I mean,
it actually makes me think, like Hush over there with all the crack programs.
Allegedly.
Edit that out.
Allegedly. Yo, yeah.
but you're technically, because it's cracked programs, you're a crack dealer.
Allegedly.
You're allegedly a crack dealer.
Allegedly. How about them Celtics?
See, like
I don't condone piracy. Like I paid for all my stuff, except for the mic in the basement.
Yeah,
we
talk about it.
We didn't want to step on his joke, but like one of the cool things about what he was just saying, right, is that like it's very hip hop. That like not only like use whatever you can to make shit, like that's very hip hop in itself.
Yes.
But not only that, also the standard is this, and we can't get to that. But you know what? Fuck that. I'm gonna grab some other shit, and I'm gonna make shit that's gonna be the fucking standard.
By any means.
That's like super hip hop too. Like all of that,
Yeah,
and that's what makes you like having those struggles and like not having the equipment, but having to somehow figure out the equipment and shit. Like that's what made it good. Because then when you finally mastered the fucking thing, like I've seen guys that, I mean, I'm sure these two can attest to it. They have like whatever the fucking instrument, weird box thing they bring in will be that no one else has ever fucking seen, but these guys are fucking banging away on it because
an MPC.
But there's MPCs and there's millions of different versions of those.
Working with what you have. I mean, that's
what I'm saying. Yeah,
from the ground up, from the mud. Get it from the mud.
But what I'm saying is like the shit that he made and whatever he learned on, he might not know how to fucking do that. So his sound can't be like his sound.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like the shit that RZA was doing, like only he was doing that shit with his sound. You know what I'm saying? Because of the shit that he had to fucking use. Now when it's Pro Tools, it's cookie cutter, it's box. Everyone can sound the fucking same.
Hush, is it still just Pro Tools? Is that the standard today? Or what would you recommend?
Vocals, Pro Tools is standard. Beats, probably Fruity Loops. But like Ableton, like it depends. For rap, Fruity Loops and Pro Tools run it. But like a lot of people use Ableton for like EDM house music type stuff like that.
Yeah, Ableton's a big thing now.
Is GarageBand still around?
Yeah, shout out to GarageBand. People are making bangers on GarageBand is the Fruity Loops to Mac, basically.
Okay.
Like, literally, like you could do the same exact shit, like
get sounds brought in, import the sounds, and you know what I'm saying. You can get the full version and put VSTs. It's impressive. GarageBand, shout out to that. I won't knock that.
Are you doing most of your production too?
I do all my production.
Okay.
Yeah, as far as I know, Pat, you don't rap over any beats that aren't yours, right?
Not on purpose, but yeah. Yeah, but not on purpose.
I mean, isn't it crazy now that there's AI that can, like, you put a sound in and it can find it anywhere on the internet? Like, if you sample something accidentally, they could just find it and pull your video or your song.
Yeah, you know, there's you know, that whole AI thing I think is a gift and a curse. I won't knock it because, you know, this whole new age stuff, you know. I don't even know I don't even know where to start with that. Long story short, I don't know. All right, if I'm in my feelings about the AI thing, I personally think it's whack. I think it's wild. I think it takes away from the thinking concept. You know, that half the shit that you see people do, it was you thought about it, you were inspired by it, you grew up through it. You know what I'm saying? That's how you got to where you got to. Nowadays, it's like you'll see somebody who did all the work and you're inspired by their final product and you're like, I just want that. You don't know what it took to make that. You just want what you see and you can just punch that in. You don't even have to do all the legwork, the years and the losses that person took to make what you love and so inspired to do. And it's like, all I got to do is this. It's nothing, and it's like it makes you kind of look less at what he did. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I can do what you can do. It kind of makes you feel like you're on their level. You know, like shit. As a beat maker, like it was a thing for people to have a Timberland drum kit. It was a thing for people to have for Neptune's drum kit, a Premier drum kit. Yo, I got Premier's drums. Why are you proud about that? Like. That man spent eons to put that drum set together in order to be Premier, the sound that you love, that you want all the time. I get it. But now that you have a shortcut to do what he did, all the work he did, now you're looking at him like,
wait, so this
I could do this.
So this is AI.
Yeah.
Recreating what, like a DJ Premier sound.
Anything
you want.
There is
anything.
There's that. And
that's crazy.
And to even like piggyback on that, there's like now if you go to like YouTube, you type in DJ Premier type beat.
Oh my god!
And then fucking, it's just like what? Like it's not even that. So when I'm putting the hashtag for the show up, I see though it's like Drake type beat, Conway type beat, Travis Scott type beat, every fucking type beat you can think of.
Yeah, and people are making a living off of making what other people already do, just to mimic them.
Yeah,
which is wild.
It's so taken away from these people. Like it's like, yo, where is your originality at? Just make your own noise. It's hey, I can do what you can do.
I like that. Make your own noise.
Yeah.
Make your own.
Make your own noise. I like that.
That's what I liked about old hip hop. You know, the boom bap era. You know what I'm saying? That everybody always knocks and loves at the same time. It's like the thing about that era that I loved the most was anybody could be anything and it was acceptable.
Yeah, but in that era, they were able to sample.
Oh, you can do anything.
So you can literally take somebody else's. Funkadelic beat
sampling from the beginning of time. Hip hop was started off sample,
but he's almost saying the same.
It's almost
thing,
the same thing.
Same thing.
Yes, absolutely. Oh my bad.
Yeah. So it's like, but like, okay, granted, but in that way, once again, that's out of necessity because back then there was no programs. The only thing you had was records when you don't have instruments. So what you do is you take a fucking instrumental and you don't make it the actual instrumental. Puffy did that. Like the original guys, like you don't know where the fuck Primo got that sample from.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and then 30 years later, like, oh, that was fucking Thriller. You're like, and you hear it, you're like, oh my fucking god, that's Thriller.
But nowadays, it's also necessary though because people don't have any attention span, so there's no way that we can make something like our own original beats. So we gotta just do a Premier type.
I agree, and I don't agree with the attention span thing because, like, I think that's also like people don't have the attention span to look for stuff. But like, okay, you and your vinyl, right? You'll go to like the ends of the fucking earth to find like the piece of vinyl you're looking for, no matter like the quality of it is what matters. You know, like all that shit.
Hoarder in me, man.
So it like, but what I'm saying is, if people that love music like go to that length to find that music, and make that
so
music.
it basically you're saying
you might not be popular.
Separates the wheat from the chaff.
You might not make like popular like money. You're not gonna like be Taylor Swift.
There was some barrier to entry that made it so like you had to put in a little work before you became a rapper or producer.
All that.
Now there's no barrier to entry, so
not at all.
Anyone can do it.
I would spend days like just listening to songs, music, like full from beginning to end, burnt out 8 hours of straight songs before I even like knew what I was gonna chop up to make a beat. It was like I called that sample shopping. Oh, I'm playing a whole bunch of songs that I found the other day. I'm gonna listen to these all day until I find some shit I like. Then I'm gonna rip off everything that I like, chop up it all, and make just that boom, bam, bam. Now it's mine.
Right, and
nobody has to do that now. It's like, yo, I want this sound to sound like that with this feeling.
And it first became crazy when we had undergroundhiphop.com in like 2000.
Well, the internet,
5, 6, and 7.
The internet allowed you to probably like find music that you could now, like you didn't need to go out and get the records.
Right, you don't need to get the records.
Right,
but people, I remember DJs coming in like J Zone. He's a DJ, and I mean he's a producer and a rapper. I know that was pretty.
I just bought a kit off of him. It's just straight breaks. You know what I'm saying?
Oh shit!
Just to support. I didn't even use the shits. I was just like, I didn't even know you did this, bro. Like I knew you made beats, but I didn't know you were doing like drum packs. I was like, I'm not gonna use these. Just listening is great, but go ahead.
That's so funny that you just recently, because how many people would be thinking about J-Zone right now? At the same time, this is serendipitous too. The universe is bringing us together to have a J-Zone discussion.
Yo, Smurf Syndrome, my favorite song, hands down.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. But he's just an example. But I remember him in undergroundhiphop.com being like, "What the fuck?" Like they have ultimate breaks and beats, and it's just on vinyl, where a DJ can come in and have all these breaks and beats. Yeah. And like you used to have to like the barrier to entry, search for him. If he knew what was coming by 2024, he'd shit his pants. Because now it's like way worse. It's not just like 6 different records, Dusty Fingers records that you got to know about to go get. Now it's like you can go onto YouTube, you can go onto whatever online streaming.
It's so easy. And it's like, I like that it's easy, but at the same time, all right, this was my thing. When they came out with those the turntables that were just discs, like I used to always say nobody should be able to purchase those but the true DJs that had
Serato
turntables
sets. Yeah.
If you didn't have real turntables, you shouldn't be able to get them. And it was like the era came where people went straight to those, and it was like, yo, I'm better than you, man, and you're able to edit. So it was like, no, it's a dub. So I used to always look at the high technology as something that was meant for the people who did all the grind work. It was like they can use that stuff because they use all the sticks and stones to make all of these things now, so now they get to enjoy those things.
I was actually going to ask you that because you said AI and you were talking about that like a way out, but also what about using it as like tools, like in music and stuff like that, like just like the way Auto-Tune was, just like the way Fruity Loops is, just like the way, what was the first one called? Pick something? Was it the first one you used?
Cool pick.
Just like
Cool Edit.
Cool Edit. Like that at the time too is almost AI, right? Because it's not a thing. You can't do that. And now I can use a computer to do these fucking like things for me and put it all in one place. And before I had to do it manually. So if you didn't do it manually before, because I'm sure that when people started using computers, because we were that hip hop too. Like when we first started doing it, there was no computers.
Well, yeah.
Then when I met Knox, was the first time I ever met someone that used a computer to do it.
Okay.
So like, and he was young. He was too young to get in the clubs. We had to sneak him in and shit. Like he was a kid. He was. You know what I'm saying? So like, and at that time, I remember people going like, "Nah, bro, people that do that shit on computers, that shit's whack. Like that shit's whack as fuck."
I was one of them.
But that's what I'm saying. But computers are essentially AI.
I would say, as you got to that point, you are 1,000% right.
But I'm saying, as the tools progress, I mean, like if you know the actual,
But here's the thing to add to that, and I don't mean to cut you off. You're kind of, I want to say yes and no, because in a sense, it was like you still did the same exact legwork. You had analog and then you had digital, and it was just like the only difference was I couldn't touch the buttons, but I still had to click and drag the same buttons. It had the same interface, the same format. So it was like the only thing different is it's not taking up space in my house. So I'm still kind of doing the legwork, you know what I'm saying, as opposed to something that's enhancing a disability that I have. So like if I'm using an Auto-Tune because I can't hold a note, so now this is enhancing me to be able to do that.
That's a different thing. Yeah, I'm saying, but people that have mastered an art, like someone that, let's suppose, paints at like the fucking Museum of Fine Arts or some shit like that, but they use some like computer programs to help them do some of the art and stuff. It doesn't mean they can't go out and like paint the shit. Like if you have the skills to use the tool, do you know what I mean? Does that make, you see what I'm saying? Like, like just because like I have a camera or I have a microphone doesn't mean I know how to fucking use it. Just because I have a fucking keyboard that plays beats and I can store sounds into them and create my own and talking to them, I can get creative. Maybe someone else doesn't have that. Do you have AI when they don't?
Not necessarily, because see, the AI that they're using now, like it's to do the work for them. It's not even, hey, I get to Like with the stuff that we were using, we were doing the work.
But change yourself to back then, like the work you're talking about though. In that term,
thought is the thought. They're using what your like God-given abilities. The concept of creativity. That's the part where I'm kind of concerned with AI, because it's like that's where the ideas and stuff come from. Your pain, your happiness, your joys, your griefs, and all that. That's where your picture is painted, and it's like for somebody to punch in, I want you to paint this mood for me, and then click a button, and ding, you get it. It's agree. Like that's the difference. I agree
with that, but what I'm saying, I agree with that. People with no skills that use auto-tune, that shit came and went, like nobody fucked with it. It was terrible. I'm agreeing with you. I'm not saying that. But then there are also other people, when like you still hear 808 and Heartbreak, you're like, okay, this guy's using it right. You know what I'm saying? You hear like you've never heard any auto-tune song that you liked. You've never heard anyone use it the right way.
Yeah, T-Pain.
You see exactly. So you see what I'm saying? So
he
like
actually can sing.
Right. Of course he can. But that's what I'm saying. Like, so when you're not getting what I'm saying by, I agree with you saying that AI, for people that don't know how to do shit, to punch it all up, that sucks.
I just don't think they're the same is what I mean. I like that is an enhancer.
But you can freak
AI.
The tool.
Yeah. See.
So okay. Google search.
No. See, you can freak the tool. But in order to freak the tool, you got to do the job.
That's what I'm saying.
Now with AI, you don't have to do anything at all. That's the concern.
I think that you're not getting that. I'm taking one step closer with technology. Mm-hmm. Google searching, for instance. Okay, is Google searching a skill set?
No.
You don't think Google search is a skill set?
No.
I'll bet anything. If you and him Google the same shit, I'm going with him. Google searching is absolutely 100% keyword searching, and like especially finding like fucking.
I mean, I agree,
it's a million. No, it's 1,000,000%, because Google is the same. What do you think, Hush? You want to chime in on this?
But even with that, like,
but there's a skill set to doing it. Once you are,
yes, mentally you have to be able to have that skill set. It's something that you have. AI can't give you that.
But you're freaking a tool.
Well, the thing is,
with your
it's a tool still though. Like AI doing the work now is it the?
It's just a new version of it. It's just a new version of a tool. That's all I'm saying. It's a next version of a tool.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying.
If we want to say that,
I'm saying the skill set remains the same.
I get what he's saying though, like, because when a new tool, like, you're still doing the work. AI doing the.
It's doing everything. You know, you don't even have to lift a finger.
As someone that uses AI, so like I agree with them. Like, if I could push a button and there's no AI, I like the better them. But like what I'll do now is like I'll use AI for certain steps, and I'm like, all right, so AI helped me make this step of this artwork, but now I'm gonna animate this artwork.
But let me piggyback on that with you. Now, see, here's a thing that makes it weird for me, and you saying that you put in the work before. So for you to mess with that, it's like, yo, I feel like you have a right to, because you went through the trial and error.
Yeah.
These people who are using it now without having any trial and error, jumping right to that, they feel perfect. They never had the ability of fucking up.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I still feel crazy because I'm not like, I know artists like Brian Life is like crazy digital artists, like,
and they're really good.
I'm not like a lifetime hand artist, you know what I mean? So like some of the stuff I make, I'm like, this is crazy that I can even make this. And I mean,
absolutely.
I'll still add my own steps that like a lot of people wouldn't know how to do, but I still be like, this is crazy.
Right. No, don't get me wrong. I have no choice but to accept it. So like, I don't, I'm not, against the machine type deal, but it's like, yeah, don't get me wrong. Maybe this is the old man conversation. Back in the day, we didn't have to do that.
I agree with you, though.
Mud with it, you know what I'm saying? Maybe, but I guess for me, it's just the soul part of it.
Yeah,
the soul. Man, I came up with these colors based off of the blue dress my grandmother had on, and the thought that I had when I was tripping on shrooms on the green grass at my boy's house during Mardi Gras. You know what I'm saying? That's
it's like
how
the tool's doing too much.
And somebody saw that same colorway and was like, "Yo, I just want that. I don't care how they got it." And it's like, wait, there's some soul in there. There's some, you know what I mean? And that's, I guess I'm just too.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean?
I agree with you. The tool, like when the tool does too much, it's like, are you even doing the work anymore?
Yeah, are you even thinking about, you know what I'm saying? Are you even, is there any feeling in it? Where's the soul in it? Like, that's my thing. But like I said, with you, you've been through the much. So as a person like you saying I freaked with it. It's like, yo, but you've done what people aren't doing. You fucked up. You failed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
People are able to walk right into it and be like, yo, I did that. It's like, wait, what did you do? You didn't do.
Well, now I try to go harder on the next step. Like I'm like, all right, if AI is gonna help me with this step, I'm still gonna go further on a different step.
But you're creative, like you're real creative. Like that's why it's like, like you put in work.
It's like this though. It's like this though too. Like suppose Prince was using some AI. I bet you'd say it differently. Because you'd be like, no, because you'd be like, oh, Prince must have learned how to use this. Like, okay, time out too. Like I'm using a little bit of AI too with some of the stuff I'm doing.
That's
right?
fair.
No, but time out. Let me talk. So basically, what's happening though is you can have it. You can press a button, right, and it gives you this thing. Mm-hmm. But then you can also take that thing and then freak it and put that soul into it, because you know what soul is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you're like, this ain't right, so nah, that ain't right. Let me freak this a little bit. All right, that's the one right there.
That kind of ties into what we were talking about earlier. Yeah, when something is created and then it's like, if you're inspired by it and then you put your own twist on it. With the whole fundamental things we were talking about.
It's just
earlier.
The tools are changing.
So yeah,
I don't want to be the old man being like, nah, because I bet you like people that were on tour like when they had acoustic guitars, then they came out with electric guitars, and motherfuckers were like, these guys with fucking electric guitars, man. Look at these fucking pussies doing all like, if you want to play loud, you gotta fucking hit it really hard, like, you know what I mean? Like,
you gotta suffer like we suffered in order to,
like,
and that's exactly,
you know what I mean? Like, so it's,
well said.
And it's just being good at a different part of the craft.
Right.
Like a Brian Life, he's a good artist by hand. So he'll draw stuff out and then he'll animate it in motion or whatever afterwards.
Exactly.
But now you might be able to just come along as a graphic designer, take some stuff that's already there, and be good at freaking it, so to speak.
Yeah.
And you spend all your time on that. So it's like with the music, you might just have like a good ear and really like be versed in AI and have no background in actual production.
Yeah.
And be able to like be the next Metro Boomin or whatever.
Yeah.
And like and be more popular. It's just the thing is, we're all in the same playing field.
Yeah.
It's if you can get an edge that no one else has, then it matters. But now it's just like, the tools are changing, so you might be better at something that's further along the line of production.
What you're saying though is something that's been happening since like computers have been out, because like having to go to the studio and pay $50 and having to go to the hood and go to a fucking studio and pay $50 a fucking hour and like be there in person with your shit memorized. Now you can just pick up your phone, make a TikTok video.
Yeah.
No one, and the thing is, maybe if you make your stuff without the AI or with the AI, as long as you're freaking it, you're putting your time and soul into it, people that are looking for soul will know it's soul there.
I'm totally behind
because
that.
People go like
totally behind
when
that.
People ask me what kind of music I like, it's really tough because obviously we all like a lot of different kind of music.
Right.
So I'll just be like, I like music that people mean what they're saying.
Yeah.
Like I don't care what they're talking about as long as they mean it. Like when I hear it, I'm like, oh, this person went through this.
Yes, that conviction.
You know what I'm saying? Like that
conviction when they're saying it.
No, because you can if you write enough of them, you can tell.
Yeah.
You can tell for the most part. Like you can tell like
you can listen to 10 people tell you I get money, and out of the 10 you can know who really gets money just off of how they can, who's the most convincing, rather. You don't know who got it.
And not even with like fucking hip hop, really, like just any kind of
anything.
music.
No,
yeah, music. Like
anything.
you know when you hear someone's voice and you're like, oh, this motherfucker's been through some shit.
Exactly.
Like you know what I mean? Like
who has the most conviction? Like, you know what I'm saying? You got to convince me that you're Van Styles. You got to convince me. Hey, I'm Van Styles.
Right.
Okay. I'm Van Styles.
You may very well be right, but if we were going to sit here and like blind test 10 different songs, and you were going to be like, I like this one, this one, this one, this one, this one for that reason,
on
the same topic, and then you find out, oh, those 5 weren't the ones where they like knew how to.
No, it's all about who's most convincing. Who's convincing me the most that they actually do.
So who is convincing you the most in 2024? Like, what are the top 5 newer albums that have come out?
I'm a buzzkill. I'm going to tell you nobody. Like.
Nobody.
Damn.
Nobody.
Okay, hush.
Yeah.
Can we get five albums?
I'll just give you let me not do you wrong like that. Everything will be I can't believe everything for me has been Griselda. Like,
okay.
Yeah, those are my guys. Anybody from there, everybody.
So you love Derringer's beats.
Derringer, Conductor,
Hit Boy.
Now Madlib been up there a couple times, like everybody, but those guys, everybody that's on that team for me is like a different chamber. So like Yeah.
They have a similar ear to you. They pick production that.
Oh, they're very good on their production. Yeah, well picked. Derringer picked some pretty damn good sounds. Conductor picked some pretty good sounds. And I can tell even when I hear what they're picking, it's not no, oh my gosh, like, this is gonna get like, no, they sat down, they spent days and hello blunts just listening like, that one's dope, but that ain't the one. And it's just like sitting there. Oh, yo, that's it. Like,
yeah,
that right there. Like with them, they bring that every time. It's a treat. Everything that they drop, I'm looking forward to hearing because I just know it's gonna be like, yeah, they put their ankles in.
Yeah, because they got an ear for it. It's kind of like with Dr. Dre. He has ghost producers.
Yes,
but you might still be looking forward to a Dr. Dre track that he quote unquote produced.
Yep.
Because you know he has a good ear.
Yep.
So he'll pick a certain type.
Even Puffy had that.
Yeah, Puff had it.
Hitman and shit. I mean, for what it's worth, I mean, Puffy obviously,
Yeah.
So when you talk about though, when you say nobody, you listen to nobody.
Yeah.
All right. So let's back it up then.
Okay.
What's your favorite album then?
All time or right now?
Both.
Oh God! Wow.
He doesn't have an answer for either. Which one? Both. No, I don't either.
My shit.
My shit. Yeah, yo. My shit. Nah.
Every rapper's favorite.
Man, albums. Yo, the funny thing is, like, if I'm not even trying to be funny. Like,
what's a front to back Pat Gouch fucking putting that shit in my player? I'm gonna fucking either drive all day or I'm gonna clean the house and this is gonna just play front to back.
Yo,
give me something.
Yo, Tame Impala.
I'm not sure what that is.
No
Tame Impala. Yo, you got the name.
Hush. Do you know what that is?
Are they rock band?
Yo, they're like, I don't know if they're rock.
I heard them once. I've heard
check it out.
Though.
They've done stuff with Thundercat. Yo, bro. I was listening to this shit the whole way here. Like,
we're asking Pat. We're asking Pat the wrong question. See, so if you're familiar with Pat's music, I wanted to ask like who your influences were because Pat.
And it's weird, bro.
Well, he said the same thing about you said Griselda, same era as Griselda. Like Pat's music ain't like Griselda. Pat's music's more like I want to say like Arrested Development, but I don't mean it like in that way.
I get what you're going with that.
You get what I'm going with that.
I respect it.
And I fuck with Speech and I fuck with Arrested Development. I actually like that album. But like he's not scared to try shit, and it's usually never the same thing twice.
There you go. Yeah, and that's my whole thing.
And it's all soul.
And that love, I appreciate
like it's all like, but like maybe to a detriment, to be honest with you. Like if I had to like say something like negative about it, maybe like it's almost that perfectionist too much. I have to have that thing that he never settles for less than that.
I'm not mad at that.
So he probably lets some shit pass by that has enough soul that he might not think does.
Yeah. What's the worst thing anyone's ever said about you? Oh, too much soul.
Yeah. right.
But that like that the one like him walking across the thing we were talking about, and like his song New Day is nothing like that song, and then the song with You're in the Black and White, and it's like you're the last one you came out with.
That was they're all called Practice basically, and it's kind of like an ongoing. It's not really even a joke, but it's kind of like a joke. It's like until I find the right means to drop an album or drop a project, I still want to make music. I'm still inspired.
You're like Jay Electronica.
Yeah, but with consistency.
Okay,
Yeah, Jay give us everything.
So where's the Pat Gouch album then?
No, well, I'm still putting it together.
There's that perfectionist.
Yeah, well, not even that. Here's the thing.
I would love to hear a Pat Gouch album.
It's a bit of a growth thing for me, if I could just speak for a second. I'm a boom bap kid, so a lot of my flow is like my rhyme like da 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 da. Now for me, through life and all the shit that I've gone through, my brain is somewhere else. My brain is like, I got to give the people something, and it's like, you can give them the the spacey, trippy, mind aloof stuff, but then it's like, I feel like I got to give love. I gotta give some kind of inspiration and stuff like that. So I try to make sure I use in certain words and certain messages because like I just feel that, and it's like, I don't know. And for me, I can't just talk about anything. I can't be, bitches ain't shit or this girl cheated on me. I feel different about those things, from the stuff that I've been through. So my brain is putting me in a space where I'm writing about ways to talk about these things, but come up with solutions. So long story short, life made it even harder for me to come up with a project now. So it's like, till I get to that point, I just have this urge to make sounds, to make noise, so I drop singles.
So what should people search if you wanted to give them an introduction to Pat G?
Oh, you can definitely check me up on, I'm on YouTube, Pat G, that's me, PATGDATZ. ME. I got songs on Apple Music. Same thing. PATG.
Is there a specific song though that you would recommend?
At the moment that I have out, my favorite song right now that makes me feel good that I did is "Word to Mommy," and that's the song we were talking about earlier at the bass. That song, because basically I don't feel like I got everything out that I wanted to say, but if I can put some of my anger and pain and some of my good in that song did it.
Okay.
Like the words I was able to say, I didn't, fuck the world and fuck my past. I didn't do that. You know what I'm saying? I was like, yo, I made it. You know what I'm saying? This happened. I'm working on this. Everything's a new day, but you still got a chance to make it. Like, it was like, instead of taking the route that typical people make, and it's not typical, but just that everybody else does, is like, let me just show a solution at the end.
Yeah.
So that's kind of why I like that song.
Is this like fair to say too? Like Pat saying he's boom bap and all that from back then. He's like one of those guys, like your favorite rapper. Like a lot of the guys, but a lot of the guys that we know and respect, like fucking in Boston, would say like they're a Pat G fan. Like you know what I'm saying? Like like they like when all they'll be like, oh shit, you had Pat on. Like they'll be like, oh shit, like because no one has fucking Pat on. Like because Pat's one of these elusive guys who isn't really in front of the camera often and stuff like that. And it's not one of those really things for him. But is it like safe to say, with that said, being one of like rappers' favorite rappers, like if you were to put out an album, like I wouldn't even expect you to put out like a hip hop album.
Yeah, that's the thing, and that's kind of
like. But I mean, it would be a hip hop album in the same way, like not that you're a Kanye, but the same way a Kanye album is a hip hop album, but it's not a hip hop album.
And it's funny
in the same kind of way.
That's exactly kind of where I'm.
Because I would be if you came with just a hip hop album, I'd be disappointed.
Yeah.
I'd be like, you have like that's all you did. Like, you have more than that.
And that's the funny part. That's kind of where I'm at, and that's why it's like, yo, until I open that floodgate out, which is requiring me, accepting that I have these abilities, let it flow, get out of being a perfectionist, let it flow. That's really what it is. Let it flow. I'm in that point in my life, and it's like, holy shit, like, wow, I really got to do that. And it's like, yeah, bro, it's time. And it's like, as I'm unraveling that, it's like, yeah, I still want to make noise, so I throw a single out, and I call it practice because it doesn't really mean much. It's just me trying to shake the rust off, still staying like musically fit until I get into this, whatever this evolution is, whatever this change is, you know what I'm saying? But you hit the nail on the head, dude. Like, I'm like in my brain, it's like, yo, nobody's really. I've yapped about this to a couple people, like, and they're just like, yeah, okay, great. So you hungry? And it's like, what? Fuck you. And you're like, dude, like, I'm just like, oh God,
you met me before.
Wow. But well said, bro. Like, that's exactly what it is right now. It's like, it can't be that. You know what I mean?
Being funny right now. See, Pat's one of the guys too. I mean, Hush, do you remember this? When I was gonna, at one point in time, I was gonna get Hush, CJ, Pat, and Knox in a fucking group together. Remember when I was trying to form that motherfucker?
I remember I've been in the studio with him and Knox.
Yeah, that was the one that brought you motherfuckers. I was trying to and CJ was gonna, like, I took our shit to the best guys, and then when I was gonna fucking come back and rap like 2 years ago when I wasn't ready yet, I wanted to do it with him. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm like. He's got that fucking thing for him, but like it's almost like a. It's like I don't want to say bohemian because that's not the fucking word for it. Like, you know what I mean? But it's like Gazelli shade bohemian. You know what I mean? Like, if that makes you know what I mean? It's like, but like if he didn't do some like rock and roll, like I'd be like why didn't you? Because like you listen to it obviously, like
yeah,
like you know what I mean? Like you're influenced by it obviously. So why didn't you doing that shit? Like,
and that's where I'm at with it right now. It's like, yo, dude, like it's a difference between that real, you know what I'm saying? I feel like I'm evolving into that truth. Like, yo, keeping it, I feel like it's two different worlds.
Describe those, the real and the truth.
Keeping the truth. It's like, keeping it real to me in this world is whatever is the norm in this world. Whatever keeps you acceptable and, not breaking any rules, keeps you in order. I feel like that's keeping it real. You know what I'm saying? Stick to the script. that's keeping it real. Keeping it true. There is no script. There is no boundaries. You know what I'm saying? The history is made off of truth. People die off truth. People don't die off real shit. They die off truth. Once you tell truth, you break shit, you shake shit, and it takes away order. And that's a lot of where we're at right now. A lot of us are suppressing that. So a lot of us are trying to break out of that. If you can see like how the world is right now, there's a lot of uprisings because people's truth is starting to seep out. Not the realness. The realness is what was keeping everything in order, which is still something that needs to exist. But however, whatever the newness is that needs to change, the truth has to stir this pot up. And I feel like that's what it is for me. Like, you know, with the flow and all of that, it was, you know, I was keeping it real. I was sticking to the code and all of that. You know, I didn't go against anything. But it's like at the same time, I knew going into my roots, like shit, like I said earlier, like I grew up on, you know what I'm saying, not just hip hop. I grew up on country. I grew up on rock. I grew up on alt rock. I grew up on all of that, and I love that shit to this day. You know what I'm saying? And those shits still help with the music. They help with. I sampled the fuck out of some of these guys. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, for me, it's brought on a different sound. So like when I'm making beats, I'm not just rhyming anymore. You know what I'm saying? There's a little sing song here. There's a little hook bridge here. There's a little twist here. There's, you know, and it's like, damn. You got to be real with yourself. You can make songs all day, but are you making what you want to make? And it's like, that's my truth. And my truth is, like you were saying, yo, it's not just hip hop. It ain't just, if for me to hear you make something, if you made an album pad like that, like that's why I'm like, holy shit, like, that's the conversation.
But you said go make noise, like, so go make the fucking noise, man.
Right, and that's the direction. Like that's why it's been like kind of quiet moments, but I'm anxious to be making noise. So it's like, damn, let me drop something
we're in an era right now, right? That you can actually do that.
Right.
Like when we were in the '90s, you couldn't, like we say, you couldn't listen to Green Day and listen to fucking Wu-Tang. Like it was one or the other. Mm-hmm. Like Rage Against the Machine was like the first kind of time. I mean, everyone knows about fucking Aerosmith and Run DMC. But that's like Rage was like one of those first times that like white dudes that like rock could start listening to like rap. You know what I'm saying? Like, and like that was never a thing. Mm-hmm. So now you can't, like hip hop itself now is country, it's rock, it's fucking heavy metal, it's electronic, it's drum and bass, it's all those musics.
Yeah, the biggest country star right now is Jelly Roll.
Yo, shout out Jelly Roll.
He was a rapper.
Little Nas X too.
That's
like
how I knew Jelly Roll from back in the day, like just making music.
Yeah, I remember hearing him in a Strong Arm Steady song.
That's exactly where I remember Jelly Roll.
Okay.
That's why I was like, yo, this dude's fucking ill. And it was like to know that he was actually crossing over doing the other shit, I was just like,
just making noise, man.
He's sticking to his shit. That's that truth. He's like, nah, I gotta evolve. I can make this all day. I'm born and bred from this, but like what's evolving in me, my story is making me be more than that. And that's what I think is so dope. And it's scary, but it's something I'm still looking forward to. That's why it's like,
but now you can do it. Kids, kids,
you can be musically transgender.
You can absolutely fucking do whatever you want to do nowadays with music, and like no one would question it. And there's an ear for it somewhere,
right?
You know what I mean? Like someone's like always looking for like whatever, how niche it could possibly be. Someone's already looking for that,
right?
You know what I'm saying?
And
because like
that's what the building is. You know what I mean? It's just
so what do you
on this new ground? It's cool. And it's weird, but yeah, it's happening.
Where's hip hop going next?
Oh man, where is hip hop going next? I feel like hip hop is gonna die. Hip hop's gonna disappear, and it's gonna come back. It's gonna come back.
Like Jesus?
Yes.
It kind of did already. It died in like 2006.
I would say
came back in like 2012 with the SoundCloud.
No, I was trying to kill it. I thought.
Nah, I think he called it too early. That was the only thing. And even with that, I think what he was getting at is something that it's so hard to say, because a lot of these things that are happening are necessary that, you know, I could really talk about. Like, you know, Pete Rock's argument about how, you know, hip hop is dead basically because money, you know, took the integrity out of it. Yeah. And it's like, that's kind of true. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what you've been saying this whole time. Yeah. Authenticity is what matters, not the genre.
Because
the box.
It was a point in time where nobody was afraid of being themselves, and it was like, I feel like I have a piece of that. I feel like I caught some of that, you know what I'm saying, of being afraid of being myself. Like, you know what I'm saying? I came up in a neighborhood that was super hood, and my family was that too, but I wasn't, you know what I'm saying? I was hella smart, you know what I'm saying? I knew what to do when shit hit the fan, but it was like, all right, cool. You know, I got my brush-ins with shit, but it was just always this thing for me. It was just like, but things were changing. I don't know. It was just weird for me, and not having to be, I can do this all day. I just don't know where to start. It's like I get into these little rants in my head. But like,
can I say something though? I was gonna say, you looking for your truth, like you being a self-producer, all your own beats. I feel like no matter what you do, it's always gonna have your twist on it. So it's like that's one thing. Like when he said it doesn't necessarily like. He expects more from the hip hop. I feel like the way that you look for samples and stuff, there's always gonna be like something extra with that. You know what I mean?
Agreed. No, absolutely. I know in my heart when I hear stuff, I hear more than what I'm, giving credit to. So it's like, damn, like I'll make a track, right? And it's like, boom, shit's fire, right? To the naked eye. Yo, Pat, that was fire joint. In my head, I was like, yo, I was fucking singing on that part right there. I had this nice little hook right here. I did a little, ooh yeah, on that part right there. And it's like, but why you ain't put it up there? It's like, because I'm still in my head about certain things in life that I gotta let go of in order to let it flow. So just imagine, like growing up in a space where certain things you had to box off because you were afraid of being that. And now you're facing that and you're like, yo, I'm ready to break this wall down. It's like, yo, it's time. That's where I'm at. And it's like we're going through the wall. And it's just a process.
Who were you making music for?
Myself.
Then what's the problem?
The problem is you putting the time on it.
Yeah, but if it wasn't like sounding like Nas, or sorry, if it wasn't sounding like Jay-Z in the early 2000s,
right,
and you were in the hood, people would like clown you.
Right.
Now, again, I'm going to bring it back to this transgender point. Everything is becoming everything now.
Yes.
And it's not just, it's also music-wise.
Globalization.
You're crossing genres. I saw like Huss Kingpin had an album put out called Portis Huss, where he's sampling nothing but Portishead.
Yeah.
And and I was just thinking, when did rap really turn? And I was thinking one of the biggest groups for when there was a reinvention within hip-hop, and we went from the 90s sound, like we went from listening to like Sean Price Boot Camp Click, which was continuing the legacy.
Right.
It switched up when you had what is Tyler the Creator's group?
Odd Future.
Odd Future got big.
Yeah.
Like they were so big that I remember Tyler the Creator was like on top of the Newberry Comics on Newberry Street.
Yep.
And they had like shut down the street and ban him from ever coming back.
Yep.
But they were huge, and that was like when hip hop got big again. Mm-hmm. Which brings me to the next point, which I saw yesterday, that who's the number 3 biggest seller and the number 1 biggest male in terms of vinyl album sales today.
Oh, he was saying this. I'll let him. Yeah.
Wow.
I just gave you a big hint.
Is it a single person or is it a group?
It's Tyler the Creator.
Are you serious?
Yeah, and I didn't he's the number 1 male artist in terms of vinyl sales.
This guy's huge on vinyl.
Yeah, I'm huge on vinyl, but he's right below Taylor Swift and Lana Del Rey.
Wow.
And he's speaking of out the box, he's headlining Coachella with Lana Del Rey and Doja Cat. And Doja Cat, people are like, we were just arguing online about whether or not she's a rapper, and like she's totally out the box. She's like a super pop star.
Yes.
Talk about like people questioning whether Drake is hip hop.
Yes.
Is Doja Cat hip hop? She is definitely fucking hip hop. Especially, I Shazammed recently. I love that song on the radio, "Paint the Town Red."
Yeah.
And I thought it was a TDE artist from Kendrick's label.
Yeah.
Because it sounds like Kendrick Lamar's flow and voice almost, but a female. I thought it was SZA. I Shazammed that motherfucker the other day after hearing it nonstop on the radio, and it's Doja Cat.
Yeah.
And like TDE is the most hip hop of hip hop labels in the 2020 and ups. So it's like everything is cross-gender.
They might be competing with Griselda.
What's that?
They might be competing with Griselda for that. I'd say Griselda is more hip hop, like top dogs right now.
Yeah.
They're okay right now. But they were always like they're breaking out into mainstream a little, but I think in terms of album sales, they're nowhere near.
I was gonna say,
Nah,
like, so
Kendrick,
now
yeah.
are we back on like the Jay-Z Nas thing? Like album sales is the thing that makes them better, like because obviously Kendrick doesn't. I mean, sells way more fucking albums than I would imagine.
I just
Griselda as a
mean
whole.
influence. Like as far as like rap today, there's a lot of rappers doing like the Griselda sound beats or sounding like Griselda.
That's another one.
yeah.
Griselda style beats is another.
Influence-wise, I just thought about this in terms of that whole argument about whether or not Drake is hip hop. Motherfucker had a song called Wu-Tang Forever, which is funny.
And it was
What he was just parlaying off of the Griselda thing. Now we talked about how the influences come up and down, right? So we all probably agree that like the boom bap in the '90s was like the best era because we were kids during that era and shit. And we probably like that music the best. So Griselda recorrecting that down that way, is that like a good thing? That everyone's gonna start sounding like is that?
I don't know if it's good or bad. I mean, you have an artist like Drake and artists like Future that are making more future-oriented music,
right?
And then you have Griselda that's making more based on the past.
Yeah,
I don't think it's good or bad or whatever it is. I was just seeing this too on. Have you watched that or listened to that? It Is What It Is podcast with Mace and Cameron.
Yeah,
they just had Nelly and Jermaine Dupri.
Wow.
And speaking of Griselda, who worked a lot with that dude Big Ghost Limited.
Yes,
Big Ghost.
Shout out Big Ghost.
Yeah, Big Ghost's favorite album or one of his favorite mainstream album is Nelly's Country Grammar.
That's wild. That's wild. But yo, Country Grammar was fire.
Dude,
Oh, absolutely.
that shit was fire.
I heard the actual fucking like parental advisory, like this one with the swears in it, like for the first time like 6 months ago. I was like, holy shit! Like,
he was super
I had no idea. I had
sweeper babe.
I had no
let it go.
I had no idea about any of that. I was like, what the fuck? I'm like, this motherfucker is like saying some shit.
On his most mainstream song, he's talking about Street Sweeper.
Yes,
it's a nursery
shooting
rhyme.
everybody. That's fucking
Segue
crazy.
off that, you were saying that Drake's hip hop. Do you guys see the new recent beef that's sparking up between Mos Def and Drake? Actually,
I see what may happen, but I saw where it came from. And if honestly, that's not fair.
Wait, what's going on now?
So basically,
we know
Mos Def
made the comment.
maybe was in a podcast or a comment or an interview or something, and somebody asked him if he thought Drake was hip hop.
No, I know that part. But
His response before he even spoke, he said, "Why are you putting me through this?" Dog, he didn't want to answer this shit. He was just like, "Fuck," and you seen on his face, but and the way he explained it. I don't even think he was taking a jab at him for it to even spark an argument or anything like that. I think it was more the people in the comments who are creating this, dust up. But no, I thought he explained it very well.
Because it is rap, so it is hip hop, but
Yes.
it's also music you would go shopping at Target to.
And I laughed because it was true in my head. I'm like, why does that make sense? I'm
both can exist. They're not mutually
He's
exclusive.
actually catching flack now though, because after that, Mos Def just performed at this like Paris fashion show like a day ago or something, and people are like, that's pretty much like saying that it's like pop-ish like Drake kind of. And Drake responded a little bit just by sharing this old Method Man clip talking about like hip-hop is a way of like how you talk, how you wear your clothes. So like his response to that was that. But then I just seen today Drake commented on something about Mos Def and he called him a bohemian bucket. Back to bring bohemian.
He's definitely bohemian though.
They might trade some bars soon. I'm thinking
they're
if
gonna
you
have
take
to.
offense to bohemian bucket.
Are we gonna live through a Mos Def like Black Star versus Drake?
That'd be dope.
Remember Drake and Common had
dope.
diss tracks
They
before,
did.
so like
That'd be dope.
I even
that'd be too
cringed
funny.
on that one.
Mos Def is this is the most relevant.
You don't
Mos
think
Def has
that-
been since.
Well, exactly, but for like the guy, for like the super fan of like hip hop, right?
Yeah, it's
like
great.
Black on Both Sides, amazing, one of the best pieces of hip hop work. Fucking come on, let's be serious.
That is
So you don't want to see fucking Mos Def come out and like just diss the fuck out
No,
of Drake?
absolutely.
I mean,
Like, I
I'm
would
gonna be
love
the
it.
devil's advocate. Like 5-10 years ago, I was taking Mos Def, but nowadays I'm taking Drake.
Oh, you're out of your fucking mind. Oh
I'm
my
with
god.
Hush.
Oh,
Nowadays, I'm taking Drake.
Are you serious?
Mos Def, like what the
Drake
fuck?
is nice,
no,
bro.
man.
There is no more Mos Def. It's Yasin Bey. The Mos Def we knew is gone.
He evolved.
Let that go, man.
He's
Yeah.
Super Saiyan Mos Def.
Okay.
Yes,
All right.
hey, like
Yo, Pat, see, like New Danger. That's the type of album I could see you fucking with. Boom. That's it. That's it right there. You know what I'm saying?
I saw a lot of people shitting on that album.
Thank you. Yeah, because you know why? Because it's boom bap hip hop heads not seeing this dude's playing like 20 instruments, fucking singing, harmonizing.
Right, he's showing his talents. He's showing that it's more than just
and there's rock songs, there's blues songs, there's R&B songs, there's all types of shit in that album.
You did it, bro.
Everything is just it is.
What's that? Woman, I love you. What's that fucking song? That's the song I'm thinking about. When
I don't even remember the title of that, bro.
It's like that long, slow, like.
I just can't remember the name of that joint.
Yeah, everything is so serendipitous in this interview. Everything's just flowing from one topic to the next. In terms of like you were saying before, it wasn't like Run DMC with Aerosmith did not make cross genres cool. It was still not right to be a rap fan and a rock fan when that came out. The only reason I'm bringing that up right now is coming up here in a few days on the 29th. Now, finally, they're doing a jury selection for the people who murdered Jam Master Jay.
Oh, wow.
I didn't even know, like...
So what happened since Tupac's murder got solved? Like, they're just going to go back and solve all these fucking murders?
And wait, is it Keefy D? Was he the one that was... Did he get found guilty?
The killer was, I think they said it's Orlando Anderson. But there's still actually, like, Puffy is getting dragged into this pretty deep. Like, this, that's still ongoing.
Puffy's getting it from all ends right now.
But the Jam Master Jay shit, though, that was...
I think he likes that.
Yeah. That was a wild story, though. But, yeah, rest in peace.
Yeah, so the Jam Master Jay, was he killed while he was in the studio with 50 Cent, or like 50 Cent wasn't there?
No, it was somebody else that was there. The thing about 50 Cent and Jam Master Jay is allegedly how 50 Cent explains that Jam Master Jay taught him how to rap.
Okay,
he helped put him on.
And both Queens motherfucking legends.
That too as well. So they were really close. But long story short, the whole gist of the Jam Master Jay shit, what came out was he was doing some hood shit. He was hustling.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying, some hustling went wrong.
So not music related, not 50 Cent related at all.
Okay, not at all. Yeah, and so some whatever one of the dudes that hit him off, he was close with, and he told on himself, and that shit got.
Well, they're finally doing the trial.
Yeah.
Speaking of like Jam Master Jay being the hood dude, I didn't realize till recently. I mean, I should have known this, being a hip hop historian, that I'm apparently not right now. But it was Run and DMC. They recruited Jam Master Jay. It wasn't the other way around.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure.
Yeah, apparently so. Apparently he was the dude from the streets, and both of those two were from the suburbs.
And
that was the thing. There's footage of Run DMC like rapping in like tweed coats and turtlenecks and shit like that. And Jay was the one that put them in Adidas and leather and shit like that. It's it's a known thing.
And then of course there's the other. Run's older brother is Russell Simmons.
Yes, obviously.
Yeah. So.
Well, you were talking about It Is What It Is before, which is obviously a great podcast. Fuck, I don't know how much you fuck with it or not. And Cam's going through that shit with Melissa Ford. So you seen the picture that got posted with Cam and Nelly? Did you see that picture?
No, I did not.
Pull that picture up real quick, because you got to look at Cam's pants. Cam's
It's her, right?
Actually, I did with the
it's
face right
Melissa Ford on her where her mouth's like where his dick is and shit, like it's open. It's the craziest pair of pants I've ever seen in my life.
And he's a fashion guru, so he know what he's doing.
Yeah, he's just wearing that shit. Like, it's just the funniest part is that her mouth is like open, like a big O, and it's like right on where his dick is. It's great.
That's
creative.
And he said, and no, you hear what he said? Because they came at him like, oh, let's stop dragging that girl, let him go. Because she said he like had sex with underage kids or some shit. They're like, let that girl go, stop dragging her. He goes, everybody needs to relax. The woman's name on my pants is Carol. The fuck? And he typed it out, but I could still read it like in Cam's voice.
Yeah,
like, you know what I mean?
You just did it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, really did.
There's no other way to do it. You know what I mean? Like, so it's, and it probably, I don't know, maybe her real name's Carol or something. Who the fuck knows?
Speaking of female mouths on crotches.
Okay.
Yeah.
Segue.
Well, have either of you listened to Necro?
Not in a long.
Yeah, Necro's never been my thing.
Okay.
Yeah, he kind of came along to my growth.
Well, he had this album, The Sexorcist, which he had like a bunch of different porn stars, including like Ron Jeremy, and they were, in the interludes talking. But his music is like super, like lyrically, it is vile as fuck.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Three days ago, I see him posted a picture on his Instagram of for his mom's birthday of his mom, and I'm like, damn! Imagine if the big Dookie chain was able to get Necro's mom. into an interview. Because there are some questions I have.
Like, lady.
Fuck you when your ass till your colon falls out. I just remember that from Who's Your Daddy.
Wow.
Just like,
see, that's like one of those genres of like hip hop that like unless you're in that genre of hip hop, like it's just like there's so many pockets of hip hop too that like.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you like that's crazy. Just what you just said is crazy.
The thing about Necro, though, I'm gonna bring this back full circle when he's talking about recording. Like, I remember before YouTube, like the 2 CDs I had for beats, I had the instrumentals from Dre 2001, and I had the Gory Days instrumental.
Oh shit!
Before I ever heard Necro rap, I had like his instrumentals are like just as famous, probably more famous than his raps.
Well, Black Helicopters and some non-fiction tracks were all produced by Necro.
Get out my head, because I was just gonna say I had the Dre joint
busy.
and I had the Black Helicopters joint. Black Helicopters was my shit. Oh my god!
So
I had to reflip that.
I got super respect for Necro on the production side, and to be honest, his raps like. I could deal with them from time to time. Like there's a time and place where I'm like,
but it's not, he just wasn't my guy though. Like I just couldn't keep up. But like going through the hip hop phases and stuff. Yeah, I came. That's how.
And rappers know too. I remember when Only Built for Cuban Links 2 came out. Raekwon had a track produced by Necro also.
Wow, did not know that.
Well, I could fuck with Gravediggers like that. Like was worth it, and like I was into that shit.
Prince
But
Ball
like
production.
But like it just. Like Necro was too much, you know what I'm saying? Like Gravediggers was like enough on the fucking
right, but you're still thinking like lyrically too.
Yeah, lyrically, yeah. I could never get past like guys that weren't like Rakim and weren't Nas, like weren't that didn't do that shit. Like I just couldn't get past. I was like writing out Wu-Tang lyrics just to like see how they did it, and like also like learning that like that's math. You know what I'm saying? Like math meaning like numbers in fucking syllables added up over like.
And you're saying Necro's flow just doesn't.
And well, there's that math, and also Wu-Tang is like a fucking book. Like it's also mathematics, like 85%. 15 solid, yes.
Was mathematics when it was
no. I'm talking about 5% of knowledge from New York. Yeah, okay, all right. Making sure. So that's more math. You know what I'm saying? So it's always like that was like you were getting something from it. Like anytime like I heard shit, like I was like, oh, the way he used words were cool, and like it was super smart and like.
Well, Necro's like punk rap.
There you go.
He's rapping like he doesn't know how to rap, sort of, and it's just breaking the traditional. You know, what is it, 6 books?
Maybe that's why, like, because if shit wasn't like always like round, like it had to be like molded at the edges. Like I don't like corners. You know what I'm saying on the music. You know what I'm saying? I like my shit gotta be. And I don't like it over. Sometimes I guess sometimes I do. I like a big stadium record. Who doesn't? Yeah. You know, but like, regardless of the size of the record, it gotta be like even Wu-Tang, even 36 Chambers, to me that's polished in that sound.
It needs to have like a certain harmony to it.
Yeah. Like,
and speaking of that production, I just saw before we came in here on MC Search of Third Base's Instagram, he put up a post, "Pray for Static Selecta." What's going on there?
I honestly don't know.
No clue.
I don't think they I don't think they've said anything yet. Yeah, I brought that up last night, and he kind of passed over it, so I just left it alone.
Okay.
Yeah, so I don't. I mean,
it's something to do with his lungs. I know that.
And yeah, he was breathing.
I've seen that.
It was something to do. He's on a breathing machine, or he was on a breathing machine. I think he's off it now.
Oh wow.
Hopefully he's okay. That's probably the biggest producer we have out of Boston.
He's that just a genius.
On Shade 45 and just producing for everyone.
Just cooking.
Yeah, he's nonstop cooking. Him and Alchemist. Nonstop. All right, well, we got to wrap it up. I don't know, probably gone like 3 hours by now. This is Big Dookie
One hour and a half.
Yeah, we got Pat G.
That's me.
Joining us today.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for coming.
Thanks for having me.
Of course, my name is Van Styles. This is Tash. And there's Hush.
Hold on, we got it. Where can everybody find Mr. Pat G?
Nowhere.
Damn.
Nah.
Super villain.
Now you can find me on IG. Pat G, that's me. PATGDATZME. I'm also on Facebook as well. Apple Music, all under the same names. And yeah.
MySpace. Are you on MySpace?
Believe it or not, if you really followed me from back in the day and you know the group I was in, and you punch that shit in on MySpace, that shit still comes up. Don't ask how I know. Just know I've been there.
That seemed like some kind of secret clue or something. I don't know what's going on.
The Da Vinci Code. The Da Vinci Code. You got to follow that to see where you end up.
That's actually where his album. That's probably where his actual album is.
Right.
You know what I mean?
There is a Pat G album produced out there.
It's
in the
there.
world.
Yeah,
You gotta find it.
You'll find some of them. You'll find some music there. I don't know if it'll be new to you. It'll be new to you,
but yeah, this guy right here, Van Styles.
Damn, Tash, throwing me out there. You put my name out in the world like that.
I'm just saying bye to the people, man. Fuck Kurt Schilling, Sense Lives, Marty Forever. Peace.